talk about a correlation, and all correlations at times they can be tight, they could diminish, and they can disconnect. But one correlation I want to talk to that I think might be developing here is the gold-silver ratio and the dollar, and they typically can run together. So the gold-silver ratio is trying to make a turn. Okay, it hasn't done it yet. We diverge. The first step would be getting back over 91. That would take it to 94. And I think that could upset short term, maybe into August or so, the bull markets in precious metals. Today, they're both down about the same amount, but earlier in the day, silver was much stronger than gold. Uh, Now it's pretty equal. Gold down 0.3%, silver down 0.26. So keep an eye on this. This would just add more confluence to a turn in the dollar if we got this turn here. So here's a dollar. We bought it at 96. Traders were prepped before it even got there. And we took some partials there. And then yesterday I said you could move up your stops to under 96 and under 96 and a half. And now I think if you want to, you could move them up to 96.50. I don't think that there should be a retest. There's potential, like I said, for us to head up to 97 and a half to 98 for this first wave. We clear 98, and then I'm convinced that something else is going on. In fact, I just interviewed a gentleman who said the key is for a long-term bull market in the dollar is that we need to take out the April high. So the April high was here, okay, at the 101 and a half level. I don't know how he had 104. He must have been talking about here, but we took out the April low. Maybe we're headed for to take out the April high. You know that I'm looking for about a 50% retracement of the sold decline. So there's still plenty of room left if this is turning to accomplish that. The only thing that bugs me a little bit is how well the euro is holding up compared to everything else, but that looks like that's trying to roll over. Your first sign, see, and we also had a confirmed high, so that bothers me. But you'd start taking out 116. It's like prior potential double top. Then I think the euro could begin to accelerate towards this moving average. If the top is in for euro, I'm looking for this, okay, down towards 110. Cable's been the weakness, unlike euro. It did not confirm, it diverged, and we're headed towards a 50-day moving average. We start taking that out, I think there's potential for us to test the big round number 130, maybe even trade under it at the speed line. We come in around 129. Okay, Aussie had a lot of strength because the RBA did not cut. So it came out of there. It's really turned into the relative strength right now. So why try and short the strength when you could short the weakness, which currently is cable? Yen continues to roar. Someone told me that there's some type of ABCDE completion. I don't see it. And what a difference a week makes from the 143 buy after selling it and then reversing. I recommend reverse at 143. This is a big trade, almost 400 pips in this. And my contention was we take out the 148 level. Perhaps we're headed towards this moving average, 149, 150. I wouldn't chase it here. We're also been in Canada quite a few times, made some money both ways in Canada. It's still holding. It's not as weak as the pound, but from 136.11 was Sunday night's reentry right here. You have about 60. To me, it looks like a bull flag. I think you could pull your stops up so that worst case scenario, you make money, maybe down at 136.30. I don't think we should take that out again. So if you want to tighten it up, you could do that with your remainder. Because I think if we, like I said last week, if we take out 137, I think you're talking 138 and a half, maybe 140. So that's in gear. I also touched upon USD MEX yesterday. We tried to break to new lows. It didn't happen. Not as strong as Canada, but showing signs of a potential turn. And the NOK really has been pretty uh, steady as she goes. The most bullish thing a market could do after a big move where it gets overbought is not correct in price, but correct in time to work off the overbought condition. And I think we're on our way. This I said buy around 110, which happened to be the low that was a week ago. So 110, if you're long, you can now trail your stops under 1005, this low, and let it go. Pull it. Perhaps we have something like this on a breakout equivalent, but it looks like higher levels are coming there. Okay, so individually, a lot of people thinking gold bottomed yesterday, calling it maybe a little mini head and shoulders. I still remain negative, and silver tried to make new highs again today and failed. We start taking this out 35 and a half, then 34 and a half are inbound. And the trade that I, most proud of, and I guess it means I have pride, was being contrarian on yields last week when they were at 420. So we've taken out moving averages. Um, Rates look higher. You definitely have some type of breakdown going on here from the 87 level, which I talked about on the Maggie Lake show before it happened. Talked about this before it happened, and on with Maggie the day before dollar hit 96, I said I'm a buyer at 96. S&Ps are starting to struggle. I think we're entering a corrective process now. Um, I think it's not going to be real deep. Maybe it's 5,900. Maybe, we pull back to 22,000, 21.5, something like that in NASDAQ. Looking at WTI, it's trying to rally, but, kind of a broken market, which, played this real well and, correctly predicted the hostilities in Iran. I think that's about all that I need to cover. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I keep thinking it's going to roll over, and we still haven't made new highs. And here you go. Here's lower highs. So we have to get back under 106. That's going to open the door for. This is where I think we're going in the next several weeks. Is look at all this confluence that we have here coming in at 96. You have the 200-day, the speed line is declining, so maybe it could come in underneath it. And you all know from prior videos that 92 is the key support level for Bitcoin. If you're a Bitcoin bull, you do not want to see 92 taken out. Let's take a look at some pretty negative action in some of the Mag 7s yesterday. I think they're going to correct. Apple, all that good news, and all it could do is get back there. Meta, they all look toppy to me. I've been negative Google against 184. We weren't able to take it out. So let's see if we get a correction, if it could hold 162. Here's NVIDIA, still pretty strong. And Netflix has a confirmed high. I don't know what to do with that. So basically staying with dollar positions, some people are saying we're going to 120 euro, and I don't know if that's going to happen. No one knows. So what do we do? So, we bought it the dollar well. So I don't know if if the euro's going to 120, this is not the dollar low. But in the meantime, we're long. We've made money with partials. We've now locked in profits on the remainder, and that's all we could do. If things change, we'll be taken out with profits, and that's an ideal position to be in as a trader. You've already booked something. Your remainder is now in a profit stop, and you just let the market work for you or take you out. So that's a wrap here for Turnaround Tuesday, everybody. Pay attention to this gold silver ratio, see if we could get a turn there. And that would also confirm what's happening in the dollar. So good hunting. Don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And I'll see everyone on Thursday